Well, we use Berkey water filters at the Finelli household, and they're coming here to the studio.
Good. I was going to ask you that today when I was getting some water out of the tap. I'm like, why am I doing this? Where's that Berkey water filtration system we've been promising for 2 weeks?
I'll tell you what happened.
What happened?
I was walking in the studio with it.
And you got mugged?
Sort of. One of our salespeople, he mugged me. He said he wanted it.
Oh, you sold the KWTO studio Berkey water filtration system to a salesman? Now that is awesome.
Well, it was our last one. It was our last one.
We've settled what you are, Vince.
He was stuttering, and I thought he needed it.
Oh, well, congratulations.
It was so much chlorine, he was stuttering.
Hey, listen, Vinny, there's a lot of people out there who are listening that want to either call in. We don't take calls because we just don't want to take up the time. Your time is so valuable, we want to discuss it with you. But if you do have a question out there, you can email us here at the program or Dr. Shealy, usaprepares@yahoo.com, or we have the SpringfieldFlightSimulator.com text line at 417-331-4083. Actually, let's make that 417-200-4715. That's the text line, not the other line. Yeah.
Do it again.
Springfield Simulator, or excuse me, SpringfieldFlightSimulator.com text line is 417-200-4715. So text or email your questions. And I have April from Branson, Dr. Shealy, says she has a shoulder problem, did not injure it, does not know how it came about. All of a sudden, her shoulder is hurting, and she has no range of motion. She can't even scratch her head.
She's got bursitis, probably.
Bursitis.
Yeah, that's a very common place to get bursitis, which, by the way, is aggravated with fluoride. The best treatment, of course, it needs to be examined by a physician. There's an injection called Sarapin, Sarapin, extremely safe compared to cortisone. It doesn't have any of the negative effects. And the only doctor that I know in town who might do it is Dr. Roger Cady here in Springfield.
Dr. Cady.
But she needs to have him or someone look at that shoulder, and if it's bursitis, which it probably is, an injection with Sarapin will do the job, and it doesn't have any of the negative effects of cortisone.
How do you spell Dr. Cady's last name?
C-A-D-Y.
C-A-D-Y. Okay, we've got a student in California who says that he read reports that the absence of sunlight is harmful. So he's installed full-spectrum lighting in his place of work. Do you have thoughts on that?
Full-spectrum lighting is better than regular lighting, but, I want it at least 8 feet, in a ceiling at least 8 feet tall.
So your concern is not that the light itself is close to you. You want to make sure the electromagnetic radiation is away from you.
And there are now regular incandescent bulbs that are full spectrum, and I would rather have those than fluorescent.
Yeah, and what I used to do is I used to experiment with wrapping the cathode and the anode ends of fluorescent tubes, the 4-footers and the 8-footers, with foil. Let's say 2 or 3 inches.
I've
across.
heard of that, but I don't have any fluorescents at home. So,
we need to measure
I can't
that.
Test it, but TriField, there's something called TRI-FIELD meter, and that's a wonderful way to find out how much electromagnetic radiation you're getting, because it is radiation.
Is that the meter that you use?
That's the meter I use. I'll bring it in next time, and we'll measure there right where Mark said it.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he'll probably
It'll be off the charts, probably.
I suspect it would be right there.
Yeah. So the effects could be confusion?
Well, it can be all kinds of things, It's just harmful to your brain. The people who sit 8 hours a day with 3 milligauss brain exposure have double the incidence of brain cancer and leukemia.
Class, what that means you need to do is move your computer equipment as far away from you as you can stand it.
The computer itself's not bad. The printer is the worst thing. You don't want a printer within 10 feet of where you are.
Yeah, mine is at least 10 feet from me. But what I've done is the old cathode ray tube monitors. You need those as far away as you can get them.
The old cathode, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's from the back or the front because they irradiate you from the back also.
When a television set is turned off, right up at the set, you're getting at least 10 to 25 milligauss.
When it's off.
When it's off. When it's on, it's booming across at least 10 feet away.
How about the microwave oven in the kitchen?
I don't own one.
Okay, is that? Well, let's talk. Let's talk about that for a few seconds. Let's extend this break if we can, Mark. The microwave radiation. There's a screen that helps mitigate some of that from coming out of the, theoretically. But your door needs to need to make sure that your door has no gook or gunk in it so that it closes properly, because you'll have some leakage of electromagnetic
let's go
radiation.
a step further.
Yeah, let's do that.
Boil some water in a microwave oven.
Gets cloudy.
And boil some water on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
Let it cool and taste the two.
Mm-hmm.
The water from the microwave tastes awful.
Mm.
If it's bad for water, what on earth is it doing for food? It destroys some of the amino acids.
Wow. So what a great test.
I would not go near microwave food.
That means no restaurants.
Well, I don't eat in a restaurant if I can avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
So this infrared lighting at McDonald's that keeps the food warm, is there anything wrong with that? That's okay?
Infrared would be okay.
Infrared would be fine. Okay.
That's a warming.
But then there's McDonald's. Can I tell you?
I know you don't like
Dr.
McDonald's.
Shealy, they're almost
We just signed them up as a sponsor.
Hey, folks,
They got a new healthy.
you might as well have an atomic bomb going off in your...
Oh, gracious. We're just joking, Doc.
Yeah,
I know.
There's two sponsors. Well, actually, there's a whole bunch of sponsors that won't touch us, and one of them is banks. We can't. I'm serious. We can't get a single bank to touch us. Not one.
Not the robber baron industry of the world.
Yeah,
it's funny when you start trashing the Federal Reserve. Or I shouldn't really say that. When you start telling the truth about the Federal Reserve, some of these banks get a little concerned.
Biggest criminal in the world.
Legalized theft.
Yeah, Mark said on the way in. Mark said to me, "Hey, Vinny, be really easy on the one bank that we're working with."
I said the relationship you have now with the bank, that's as best as it's ever going to get. So don't lose it. Oh, great. Well, that's a good place to take a break. Gentlemen, let's pause right there in the wonderful action. This is Mark Wright with Vincent Finelli and Dr. Norm Shealy on USA Prepares. We'll take this bottom of the hour break, and we'll be right back.
Please return to your seats. Class is now in session at usaprepares.com. Interact now by emailing instructor@usaprepares.com or text 417-200-4715. And now, Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright.
This is usaprepares.com. I'm Mark Wright. I'm here with the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli, and we're speaking with the official USA Prepares doctor, Dr. Norm Shealy. And Vinny, we got a lot of questions for the doc. He's a pretty popular guy.
He really is. Class, for your free copy of Bob Chapman's International Forecaster, go to usaprepares.com and send us an email. Just mention Bob Chapman, and we'll make sure that you get your free copy post-haste.
And we'll also... You can get a free copy of the book that is destined to be America's new bestseller, The Inflation Deception. You can call 1-800-630-1498. Speak to our friend, Steve Rand, at Swiss America. He's one of our Get Prepared Expo instructors. And so don't go to Barnes & Noble and buy that book.
There goes another sponsor.
That's right. When you can get it for free. And it's a great book. It's going to tell you the truth about what this economic system is doing to our dollar and how you can survive it. So call 1-800-630-1498 or go to SwissAmerica.com.
Do we leave anybody out? That was McDonald's, Barnes & Noble.
I'm sure we can think of a few more here.
And the banks. Okay.
Here before too long.
Gerard from California writes, MSG.
Poison. That's enough to know.
Poison.
Don't buy anything that's got MSG, and that means you don't go to any fast food restaurant.
That's right.
They douse everything with MSG. It's addicting, it prevents you from losing weight, and it kills your brain. But other than that, it's not too bad.
Oh, jeez. Well, my understanding, MSG, the reason that it's used is to excite or hyper-excite your taste buds.
Exactly.
So they used to have some potato chips, and they'd say, bet you can't eat just one.
Right.
And I guess they put MSG in them.
You bet.
And you can't eat just one.
If you go in the grocery store and you find more than 2 ingredients, one of them is likely to be MSG. And I would not buy it under any circumstance. That means all the commercial soups. Campbell soup is not good, it's
That's 3. That's
you caught yourself. Oh, gracious.
That's 3
That's
sponsors.
another one. Mark them off.
Okay, so So MSG class, just forget MSG.
Okay, you're talking about a supplement there, and the other day I was looking in the cabinet and saw my wife buys olive oil, all natural 100% olive oil, and puts them in various products. What do you think about olive oil? You like it? How do you use it? What do you recommend?
Well, there's only 2 fats I have in my house: olive oil and butter.
Okay, all natural butter?
Well, of course, if you can get it. That's
Right.
hard to get, But even so, even commercial butter is better than margarine, which is another original poison.
Interesting.
Fats. We've known for 60 years how bad it is.
I don't think you can even get flies to land on butter, can you? I mean, not butter, margarine.
Margarine,
I don't
right.
think-
No, they won't eat it.
Yeah.
That ought to tell you.
They're smarter than people.
Just got a text on our SpringfieldFlightSimulator.com text line, Doc. Can you buy your new book on the website?
Not yet, but you can go to the internet and order it. It just came out last Friday, and I don't have my own copies yet.
Okay, so where do they go, to Amazon?
It probably can see it listed on Amazon.
Okay.
Energy Medicine, the Future of Health.
Energy Medicine, the Future of Health. If you Google it, you could probably find a source to buy it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Okay. Wow. Depression.
Well, I just happen to be, in my opinion, the world expert on treating depression.
How many patients have you seen?
30,265 people with depression who failed conventional medicine, because you talk about another poison that you should avoid like the plague, it is antidepressant drugs.
Amen.
The evidence is overwhelming.
And the pharmaceutical industry says that not enough people are on antidepressants.
I don't call them the Pharma Mafia for nothing.
It's interesting, Dr. Shealy. When I have to tell you a quick story. When I was in the legislature, first got into the legislature, I was working a lot of hours, staying up real late, constituent services, working on legislation, and you start doing that for many months, especially when I first got there. I wasn't used to it, and I got home and I was wore out. I couldn't sleep at night. So I went to my doctor. I said, Doc, here's the situation. And he gave me a box of antidepressants. He said, try these and come back in a couple of weeks and tell me what you think. And you know what? I walked out of that office and I said, this is not what I want to do.
I hope you put it in the toilet.
This is what I did. Listen, I went home and I told my wife, I said, this is what the doctor has recommended, and I absolutely reject it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make myself get better through willpower, and I did. I just, started living a little stress-free, not worrying as much. I started sleeping better. I started dreaming again. I went back 3 weeks later to the doctor, and I said, Doc, and I handed that box back to him. I said, I just want you to know I didn't try one of them. I just told myself I got to do better mentally, and I did. And he started laughing. He said, that's why I gave you a sample, because I figured you wouldn't touch them. And I didn't.
Well, he was at least smart enough not to give you a prescription. The treatment of choice, if you've got a moderately severe depression, a lot of people can't do it with willpower. They don't have your kind of willpower.
Sure.
There's an electrical stimulator called LISS, L-I-S-S.
Mm-hmm.
It's approved for use in depression and a few other things. Using that every day, 1 hour in the morning before noon, will bring 50% of people out of depression safely without a drug. If you add to that photostimulation, which takes care of the anxiety part, because all depressed people are also anxious, as you were.
Yes, I was.
And so we get 85% of people out of depression in 2 weeks without drugs.
Now, when you say
Wow.
photostimulation, you're talking about light. Go outside?
I'm talking about a pair of glasses with flashing lights in them that go 1 to 7 cycles per second.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Is there
Shealy Relax Mate.
is there
Wow.
a free method? Would going outside would going outside help? Just plain
Oh
old
yeah, being
Probably
in the sun helps
exercising.
immensely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there are lots of nutrients that can help, like vitamin D3, 50,000 units once a week. Like if getting a good B complex, you need that, and tryptophan. Before the FDA banned tryptophan, not long before Prozac came on the market, let's say, tryptophan was over the counter, and it was very inexpensive, and enough tryptophan could take a lot of people out of depression without a drug and without any negative effects.
Can't our class get tryptophan by having a turkey sandwich?
Oh yes, turkey and milk and bananas.
Isn't that why we fall asleep at Thanksgiving dinner?
Exactly. Well, if you not if you ate only turkey Only if you eat potatoes with it. It's the carbohydrate that makes you sleepy.
Okay, so
Really? Well, I always eat mashed potatoes with my turkey.
I know.
So
It's a
that's
law.
why I get that. Yeah, that's why I get sleepy, huh?
Exactly.
Hey, there's Moody's breaking news from moneynews.com. Moody's next recession to feel more like depression.
Well, I don't have any doubt about that. If people haven't read Aftershock, the second edition, I